Well, I'm going to put this video out here. It's actually, I was thinking about putting it out on a different venue or something, and I probably will do that. I don't even think it's going to be another channel. I think it's going to be like, I'm going to put the more serious stuff out someplace else, completely off YouTube, because this is just kitty center over here, and I'm just not going to bother with it. It'll be like public, but it'll be, I don't know where the hell I'm going to put it exactly, but it's going to be some more serious venue for serious stuff, and then I'll put, 10 worst boob jobs on this or something like that, and, make $1 million, right? Because that's what people want. But I'm not about that kind of shit. I'm actually freaking doing some serious stuff, and this is not the place to be doing it. I realize that. So, but I put it out in a fun way, I don't like freaking get real freaking techno and shit, because that's just a bunch of stuff to impress people. I've realized how the people are that in professional worlds, they are game playing $500 word people. But this is Goldie the cat. Now, why am I showing you Goldie the cat? And we're going to be talking about Spooky here. The one thing, the Spooky generator, the Rife, it's not really a Rife. It's, I don't know what you call it. You would label it. It's uses the principles of quantum entanglement or whatever, but I'm not going to get into all that highfalutin garbage. But I'm just going to tell you a couple simple things that made me realize where the potential could really be unlocked with this device. The problem is you really would want to have medical doctors experiment with this, because it might actually cure just about every damn thing out there. Where I would think, I'm going to give you an example, because something like this, you wouldn't want a medical doctor risking his neck for doing something that is, not part by the book. But if it's in a situation where there's absolutely nothing you could do about the person's survivability by the book, that you might want to go with something more, unique. But this is Goldie the cat. This is the second cat, a third cat I got, actually. The second cat I adopted after Putin, he used the original one. He had some fleas. I didn't know it, right? Now, it sounds almost crazy, and I got this crazy idea myself. I did read that the frequency 2750, when run in a plasma device, a true plasma Rife machine, or Rife bear machine, whatever you want to call it, will kill the fleas. I got the original idea with Rocky the cat. I just said I couldn't get rid of these damn things. They're all over the place. And the second time I tried it was with Goldie. And I'm thinking, I don't know if this is going to work again. The vet, I thought the cat had some fleas, because I said, where the hell is this flea coming from? The vet said he was full of them, and he says, you got them all over the house again. I was like, that's why you can't get rid of them, They're like, if you get rid of them on the cat, it's every place they sleep, there's fleas. You'd have to take the cats out of the house. You'd have to flea bomb the crap out of everything, and you would have to put stuff on the cats to get rid of the fleas from the vet. That's real expensive. What I did was I put, in his case, Goldie's case, I put one flea in a Mobius coil, and I'll show that to you. And I ran it for 2 weeks straight. It was 2,750, plain square wave. And when did I do that? I did that, God, it was back in March or something. It was a long time ago, actually. There's no fleas. They're all gone. They've been gone. I know they were here. That's what if it's something really crazy happened where they just got up and left, or I don't know how this thing worked, but I think that it killed the fleas. I know that's a alleged frequency that kills the fleas, right? But it's weird that you put it in this Mobius coil, and the DNA from that flea is going to all the relatives of that flea. Not all the fleas in the world, but the closely related ones, so that would be all the ones that was on the cat, That's theoretically, let me put it this way. That's the theory how we think it works, not just me. Not just me, because I was the first one that tried this garbage, So, Goldie's a happy cat. There's no fleas in this place at all, period, because it killed all of them. I don't know how the hell this thing works. Rocky, he had a zillion of them. I adopted this guy. I was like, I couldn't get rid of him. I was like, this guy has got, so they're all over the place. You know, he'd spray and they'd come right back. It was like ridiculous. And so I tried this experiment, and I says, you know, I'm not going to spray anymore. I says, they're freaking all over the place. And I put, it was very easy to find 3 of them. And I put 3 of them in a Mobius coil. Rocky, that was you, man. And like 3 days later, I thought they were gone. I said, well, maybe there's one left. Ouch. You know, it bit me, you know. And then a week later, nothing. Then that's 2 weeks later, nothing. I was like, holy shit. They were totally gone. And the way they came back was through Goldie, because that was the next one I got. I got him, see, Rocky I got in, well, actually I got him I got him December 8th, 2012. And I started realizing he had fleas in January 2013. And I don't know when exactly I did that flea. It's probably on one of my videos I did, you know, the flea cat experiment, whatever. The freaking thing worked. And then I picked up Goldie in November 20th. He was outside. That's why I went ahead with a little kerosene heater and stuff. And I brought him inside, and I didn't know, he didn't seem like he had any fleas, but then it became apparent like about a month or so later that he did. And those things are like impossible to get rid of unless you get the stuff from the vet and you flea bomb the house, man. Or they're like virtually, but I haven't seen any fleas or got bitten by any fleas since I did this treatment, whatever you want to call it, with Goldie the cat in, I think it was February. Yeah, end of February 2015. Now, this is what I'm getting at. You see, you know, you put the flea in this Mobius coil in the sandwich between this thing, and you run the generator, and it was like 2,750. That's what I did, right? Well, this is what I'm getting at. You know, instead of putting, it's like in addition to using the DNA from your body from a fingernail clipping, if you can get a sample of the microbe, and I'm saying this is all experimental, I already know what happened back in the 60s. You know, they were having some success with different things with frequency generators applied to the body, and some things were helping out, and they freaking raided them and they shut them down. That's why I don't want to really put this crap out, because I'm like, you know, I don't even tell it to you like in a, you know, a way where like I'm trying to convince you. I'm just kind of telling you what happened with this flea experiment, and I'm really trying to put it out to the medical community, but forget it, I think, with them, because I know about the 28 doctors that were killed that were like naturopath doctors. And, you know, Ben Carson's, you know, he's the new guy running for president. Oh, he just loves vaccinations. Everybody's going to get vaccinations. Yeah, he's freaking Darth Vader up there as far as I'm concerned. But the thing is, like, say there's some type of inoperable, like, you know, I'll tell you one thing that's a guaranteed death sentence: brain cancer. You know, like Ted Kennedy had it, Joe Biden's son had it. And actually, you can get, there's a few other people, I forgot about what their names were, but you can really build a conspiracy out of that. You know, like, you know, because if you actually look back during the 60s, and if you get into cloak and dagger conspiracy land, there was actually attempts on Fidel Castro's life. You're going to give him a galloping type of cancer and whack him with that. That's how Jack Ruby died in prison, you know, after he killed Lee Harvey Oswald or whatever the hell it was. They gave him cancer. That's why I'm like, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot of bad shit that device can do too, I guess too. There's a lot of things it could do. But they hide so much knowledge from us. It's amazing. I think there are people in the cloak and dagger world that probably know more how to use frequencies to put people to sleep, all this other bullshit. They've always known this. But I'm getting off track now, but I just want to say that, if somebody was to take, and they say, I don't want to tell you what to do because it's probably not my position to say that, but maybe let's call it as a hypothetical experiment, to actually take not just the fingernail clipping that contains DNA, but a sample of the microbe and put it in a Mobius coil. Because I'm comparing that to how it actually, I didn't put the cat claw clipping in a Mobius coil and try to kill the fleas on a cat. No, I actually put the actual flea in there. So I'm thinking, why not use the actual microbe and put it in there? I don't know how this thing acts. I don't think anybody knows how this damn thing works. But the way I look at it, try it and see if it works. That's how I still can't believe this cat fleece deal, the way it worked. I'm really having a hard time getting my mind wrapped around it. It's like, I don't understand how it works, but I'm thinking it was a miracle from the cat god or some crap or some really crazy coincidence, because those stupid things are all over the place from Rocky, and then I got rid of them completely, and they were gone for months and months and months, from, say, March all the way definitely to November, and well, I didn't notice any in November at all. Then I got Goldie in November 20th of 2014. And then they start showing up again in January 2015. So then I ran that thing at the end of, I ran the spooky thing again with the flea in there, and they were gone. But, I'm starting to think, and, maybe this is the way to use it. Maybe this is the way to use it. Not just to have the, fingernail clipping with the DNA from the person, but also a sample of whatever microbe you're going to try to address. Now, I can tell you that I tried to, I ran this on some family member, with Parkinson's, had a slight touch of Parkinson's, with Spooky2 on a remote at 6,000 hertz, and supposed to be good for Parkinson's. Didn't do a damn thing by the remote. Nothing. But, and I can't tell you because I didn't only try this one time. I can't tell you if you repeat. If it's going to work again and again. But I had her hold the handheld contacts for 12, 13 minutes. Just a plain square wave at 6,000 hertz. And the shaking in the left hand was almost gone, and it was that way all day. I don't know what the hell happened there. It was coincidence. I don't know. I think there's something to this stuff. But on the other hand, what I don't like about this technology, it's like, I don't want to knock it, but, it could really get people's hopes up too much. And I don't like that either. Because the list has got all this stuff on it. It seems like you just dial in, an ailment, and, my pinky hurts, and let's get rid of it, Yeah, I don't know about that deal. But, unfortunately, I don't think the medical community is ever going to freaking look into this stuff in a million years, because they never have. And if they do, it would probably be scary, because if the government gets control of this, holy shit, I mean, they could just, well, you're a problem, so we got your DNA, we're going to freaking screw you up, you know what I mean? Right? I'm serious, man. Right? There is stuff you can actually do with this thing that could be detrimental if you really knew what you're doing on it. That's why I'm not going to tell people that stuff. But, you really can't screw up. As far as I can tell, you really can't screw up by just using any of the menus and whatever they say in those manuals. But the thing is, though, if it's a situation where, there's got no choice in the matter of anything, like say it was, I don't even want to say this because some yo-yo's going to say, you can't be saying that about brain cancer or some shit. I was like, well, fine. Freaking. And I wouldn't know if it's going to work. I was just making an analogy between how it worked with the cat fleas. And I did not repeat this experiment 100 times or 1,000 times. I did it twice, okay? But I know it seems too incredible. It seems incredible for me. I'd be nervous trying this experiment again. But right now, I'm thinking I'm glad there's no damn fleas. You know, I don't know how the hell would they. I don't know if they were killed or they just left. You know, I don't know what happened. They're gone. You know, so I just started thinking about this, and I says, you know, what a way to really apply this technology is, say, for instance, somebody has a cancerous tumor and it's hard to operate in that area. If they get like a tiny little bit of that cancer and they put it in a Mobius coil, would the frequency transmit to all the cancer in the body and destroy it? It's a theory. I mean, I haven't done it. I mean, I could do this. I'm not a doctor. It's a theory. I mean, it's like, let's call it the cat flea postulate or something. I don't know. The cat flea axiom. We're making a theorem from that or something, you know? I don't know. What do we want to call it? Play like it's mathematics, you know? We got a postulate on based on cat flea quantum entanglement. And researchers Goldie and Rocky are the main scientists behind this. That's how we're doing it, right? So what I'm getting at is, you know, that's why I think this thing could probably wipe out any bad freaking ailment in the body, as long as you know the right frequencies for that. Now, if you noticed in the book, and I know a lot of people don't really like reading the book, John White, he recommended using the inverted sawtooth wave because it puts all the harmonics through you know, the range, whether even and odd harmonics. And he also recommends the 64th multiplier. And I did put a video out, and I know it didn't get much attention because people don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And I was being a little more serious on that, though. But how they came up with the frequencies on a consolidated frequency list, actually a lot of them came from John Crane, which is Royal Rife's assistant. And he took the original Rife frequencies, and he actually worked with Royal Rife. And some people say, oh, this work is all understood today. No, not really. He took Rife's original frequencies, which we still don't know most of them. We know some of them. And he divided them down by random integers. And I'll point to a link on that. But it's... some people keep saying, oh, nobody knows what these frequencies came from. Now, there is a method to the madness. But looks like Crane was trying to hide his work, because sometimes he would divide a frequency by, say, you know, 498, and one time it would be by 325 or whatever. I'm just giving examples. So you wouldn't know what the original frequency really was. But the way I figured out how it worked was I looked at the original Rife frequency, and I just divided the Crane number and I says, wow, if I went and used that whole number as an integer to divide down by, well, guess what? You come up with it. You come up with Crane's number. So he was hitting Rife frequencies with harmonics. They're much higher. That's why, that's why I think, I don't know what John White does. You know, I just follow what he says. You know, I don't like question him, but. That's why I think he uses the 64 multiplier, because it takes these consolidated annotated frequency lists. Those low frequencies, they don't work that well. They don't. It's not like they don't work, but they don't work that well. I shouldn't even say that. I should say in theory. I should say this is all theoretical. I can't say it works at all. You know. Anyway, but the thing is that the original Rife frequencies were much higher. So they generally, just to bring them up higher, anywhere near that range, he multiplies them by the 64 multiplier. That's how it's set in Spooky. And then uses the inverted sawtooth wave, so you get all the multipliers from the odd and even harmonics. Right, Rocky? You understand that? You're being cross-eyed on me? You don't understand, right? You just want a treat? Anyway. But that's how this cat is. He freaking looks at me like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, sure. So he's always doing this shit with me. But the thing is, I just want to, because I just want to emphasize that again. Like, in other words, if there's a blood-borne disease or something, I almost hate saying this because I don't want to make a claim here, but say it was malaria, that's basically a blood-borne disease. Like, it's not around the USA, so that's not going to be it's not going to be applicable here for the most part. But say it was malaria. If you had some part of your blood, you put part of your blood in, between, the Mobius coil on, say, masking tape or something like that, or paper, a little paper blotch or something, along with the fingernail clipping, you probably should have the actual malaria in there, and then when you're applying the frequencies, it should, I would think, it would work just like this, cat flea principle that we postulated here. It's a theory, but I think that's the way this stuff might work like a charm. I don't know if anybody's ever tried this idea, because I don't think, everybody's using the fingernail, which is fine because it's like your human body DNA, but nobody's emphasizing using the human body DNA. And I know, like with a virus, it's not really a DNA, it's an RNA, but I don't know how this quantum entanglement stuff works. It doesn't necessarily work off of like DNA. It works off of anything that's linked to something. I don't know. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. But you know what? The way I look at it is, why theorize? Like, I'm making a theory here now from something I figured out, which I think I figured out. I'm still flabbergasted by how the hell this worked, but I'm making another theory here of that. Why not use this with the actual microbe? But instead of if, say, for instance, I had to get rid of some microbe in my body or something, that's what I would do. I would try to get that microbe, put it in a Mobius coil, run the appropriate frequency, and hammer the crap out of it, and it's gone, I would think. That's what I would do. I can't give you information on that because I don't have no microbe to use, okay? But that's what I would do. And, like, what happens is a lot of people tend to, like, argue about the theory all freaking day instead of, like, well, let's just test it, for damn it, and we'll find out, I mean, somebody would have argued me all day about, don't put those fleas in a freaking Mobius coil. That's a bunch of crap. It wouldn't work. Not supposed to be like that. And I freaking tried it. I'll try, maybe I'll try 1,000 different things or 10,000 different things. Then you might find something. That's pretty much how everything is discovered. People just freaking hammer away at it till they find something. It's just like digging in numbers. You're digging in numbers, you're digging in for information. And you can't find something. Then all of a sudden, or you can't create the picture the right way that you're trying to get with the financial information or whatever you're trying to do. You just keep hammering away. Like a lot of stuff is 99% perseverance and toil and hands-on. Yeah, and everybody sits back and says, "Oh yeah, that's why it works." Yeah, okay. But I think this is something that it needs to be put out because I don't want to say it's going to work, but this is definitely what I would do. If somebody said, "Oh, you got this cancerous tumor and you're good," if I say, "Doc, take a look. If you get the biopsy, let me have that little specimen," and I would stick it in the coil and then run whatever frequencies there are for cancer. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's based upon the Rocky and Goldie the cat flea postulate theorem. So anyway, just want to put this out. I probably lost. This is a great video to put out because it'll lose 99.99% of YouTube. PewPie Die fans and whatever the hell else out there, because I'm like You know, I might use YouTube for like that kind of stuff. You know, like I said, compilation of stupid shit. That's usually what it's. That's what this whole thing's become, and it's like I'm like this is good. So I'll probably just use the other. I'll probably use something else to put the real information on because I'm not gonna put up with a bunch of yo-yos. And even though I'm talking this way, this is serious shit. You know, I just don't like playing a game like putting a phony act on. This is some serious shit. It might actually freaking work. And if it does, the boogeyman's going to be coming after us because they're going to be deprived of a lot of revenue for their medical freaking bullshit that they do. So, which has happened many times before. So, anyway, just remember the Rocky and Goldie principle of using the actual flea or the actual microbe or the actual specimen of whatever that thing is that's ailing you to put in that Mobius coil. I can't say if it's going to work, but it may. And if it does, I shudder to think because it's like I wish the word can get out where it doesn't get out amongst certain people because certain people are going to screw it up. That's the problem.